Moses Itauma has just knocked out Dillian Whyte in the first round. We're going to get some ringside reactions for you. Cameraman, if you just come through with me. Right, I'm with Derek CHISORA. Derek, if I can just get your immediate reaction, Moses Itauma first round stoppage.
Listen, I hate to see an old dog go out like that. You know,
You seem quite emotional about seeing
that. Emotional, because I might have banner with Dillian, but you see one of the guys from the old school team. You know, Moses can come back by a great win for him.
As much as it's sad to see Dillian go out like that, Moses is something special.
Oh yeah, he's getting there. Not yet, but he's getting there. I think the next fight Moses should fight David Adelaide, or Fabio. That's it.
There's been talks that he could be a potential WBO #1 eliminator with Joseph Parker. Do you think that's a fight Moses should take?
It depends. Depends the paymasters what they want.
For Dillian now, do you think Dillian should retire?
I don't know. He knows what to do. You don't want to go out like that.
Would you still fight him?
Nah, there's no value into that.
Commiserations to Dillian, yeah?
Yeah, man, I'm just sad he had to go out like that.
Thank you for speaking to us, Derek. Right, that was Derek CHISORA. I'm seeing Joseph Parker here. Joseph, can we just get your immediate reaction? Did you think it was going to go that quickly?
You never think it's going to go that quickly with someone like Dillian and the experience that he carries. But we did say he's going to start fast and it's within the first 3 or 4 rounds. And he showed patience, but also aggressiveness. And he showed, combinations and power. He looked good.
Do you think Dillian got his tactics all wrong?
I'm not sure what his tactics were, but once your legs are gone, you're gone. And he didn't recover on time, and good call from the ref. Otherwise, it could have been worse.
Moses Itauma is something special, right?
Very special. Great talent, big future, and look forward to see what he's going to do next.
Like I said to you before the fight, there is a potential that, I know you have your eyes on Alexander Usyk, but there's potential that the WBO could order a fight between yourself.
If they order it, they order it. I don't care who I'm going to fight next. Seriously, anyone and everyone. Doesn't bother me.
Do you think it's too early for Moses to take a fight with you?
No, there's only one way to find out. But, I'm not sure. If it does happen, it does happen. If it does happen, it will happen.
Do you think we've seen enough of Moses to really see how good he is?
Listen, there's stories about sparring. We've seen what he's done in the ring and how he's been able to take fighters out. And listen, it just shows that hard work pays off. He works really hard. He believes in himself. Great team. So, right recipe.
Well, Joseph Parker, thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you. Right, that was Joseph Parker there. We're going to see who else is ringside. I'm seeing Lawrence OKOLIE. Lawrence OKOLIE, did you think that fight was going to go that quickly?
I thought Moses was going to stop him. I think it was going to be in 59 seconds. Sorry. No. Why are you laughing? Trying to have a serious conversation. I didn't expect it to be 59 seconds. I thought it would. I thought Dillian would trade a bit more and make it a bit of more of a fight. But as soon as he got caught, it's the beginning of the end.
Do you think Dillian should have come in with a different game plan?
There's not really much he could have done. Do you know what I mean? He was in there with a sharper, more explosive guy. He gets to take his money and go back to doing whatever he's doing.
And listen, we all know the sparring stories of when a 15-year-old Moses Itauma came into your gym. Did you ever think he would be this good?
I did, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think it would be this quick. That's more what it is. Because I was sparring him when he was young and I thought, this guy's really good. But I thought, people get held back, they try Olympics, they do. But he said, no, I'm just some bro and just start tearing it up. So we got to him.
Like you say, you've been very complimentary, even friendly with Moses, maybe because you thought it might be, your paths might not cross.
No. Even if they were going to cross, they are going to cross. When you see a good young fighter, you've got to say that's a good young fighter. What he just did then means that there's no one that you can say Moses is going to fight that you're going to say it's too soon. So he's a potential opponent to all of us.
Do you think Dillian Whyte should retire?
No, I think, you know what, Moses is a very sharp young fighter. You know, Dillian's 37, so there's some other fights for Dillian to take. You know, yeah, I don't think he should retire on that. He got blown out of there, but I think that there's still other fights. You know, Pulev, like, you know, the older boys, and yeah.
As much as you and Dillian have had your differences, do you have respect for him as a man and respect for his career?
As a fighter, 100%. Like, I can't. You can look. All you have to do is look at his career. Parker, you know, he's been in some huge fights and given so much entertainment. Like, it'll be disingenuous for me to say, if not for other stuff, I'd be a fan of him. But if you talk about as a person, not so much. But as a fighter, yeah.
And like I've said, there's, you know, potential that Moses Itauma, he's WBO number 2, Parker's WBO number 1. There's a potential that that fight could happen next. Do you think that's too early for Moses?
No. As I said, listen, I'm now watching that saying, okay, they could call me up, you're Moses, Parker Moses. This, like, it's showtime. I was talking to Parker earlier. Parker knows it's a hard fight as well. He hasn't gone the rounds yet. We're still yet to see that, but the way that he's moving, the way he's punching, he can offensively compete with anyone.
And I spoke to you before. You said, you know, you're going to be analysing some of the fighters tonight. What would you do differently if you were to fight Moses Itauma?
You approach it very differently. You know, when someone's so sharp and explosive, you don't either stand in front of them or go toe to toe unless you're ready. So you have to pick your moments. And then, like I said, the guy's sharp and explosive and very young. So that comes with pluses and it comes with minuses, but it's very good.
Lawrence OKOLIE, thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. That was Lawrence OKOLIE. Let's see who else is ringside. Right, so I'm seeing Lee Wood here. Lee Wood? Right, I've got Lee Wood here. Your friend Moses Itauma, he's
instant reaction, yeah?
Something like that, mate, something like that. So,
He's a special fighter. The only thing I was concerned about before this fight was people going to say, Dillian Whyte's past it. Because we knew it was going to be an early job. Like, I look at my interviews, I said, no disrespect to Dillian, but he's a special fighter, Moses. And with the team and the preparation, we knew how it was going to look. And that could have been Dillian Whyte any stage of his career, not at this tail end. That's my concern. I thought people were going to say, oh, well, Dillian Whyte's not where he used to be. But it'd have done that the same thing to him at any era of Dillian Whyte. But yeah, special fighter. Looking forward to the future and what's next for him.
now Moses Itauma, now we're kind of talking about him in the same breath as your Roger Federers, potentially your Roger Federers, your Michael Jordans. Do you think he can reach that sort of level in boxing?
Quote me, but the team said as well, he'll probably be the best British fighter we've ever produced. Bold statement by the team, and I'm going to repeat it because I believe it. So.
There's some potential for him to fight Joseph Parker next, considering Joseph Parker's WBO number 1, Moses is number 2. Do you think that's too early for Moses?
No. It has never stopped surprising me. Like, he's 20 years old. When I look at myself at 20 years old, I think, how immature was I? What was I doing? Riding around on a BMX. He's ready. He's got nothing to lose. Nothing at all to lose. And as you've seen tonight, he's the real deal.
What about Alexander Usyk? Turki Al-Sheikh has spoken about the fact that he wants to see that fight. Do you think that would be a step too far?
I'd like to see him get some rounds first, and not saying he's not good enough, but experience. Brennan used to say to me years ago, it's the only thing you can't buy, borrow, or pretend to have. Experience. You got to go through it. Let him get some rounds under his belt against someone like Parker, or I'm not his manager, but I think he needs some rounds first. But he can definitely put up a fight with Usyk and do a better job than other heavyweights recently because of his style. It brings him into the table that no one's seen before. So.
Lee Wood, thank you very much for speaking to us, and we hope to see you out there soon too.
Hopefully all being well. Look, aiming for a November return, so keep your eyes peeled.
Nice one, Lee. Top man. Cheers. So that was Lee Wood with some big claims. All good. That was Lee Wood with some big claims about Moses Itauma. Let's make our way through. see who else we can get. We get really quickly. Hamza Shiraz, you just witnessed the first round stoppage of Dillian Whyte. Like we said before, it's almost sad to see from Dillian's perspective.
Yeah, it is very sad to see, but at the same time, it's boxing, it's brutal, and it's a business. So it's as simple as that. Whenever you go through them ropes, the two fighters are, they turn into animals. And Moses, man, I reckon in 2 fights he'll become a world champion.
2 fights?
I reckon, 2 fights. I'd say 2 fights, pushing 3. But yeah, he's different, bro. Definitely.
Who would those 2 fights be for you?
Do you know what? I think the next fight, give him someone like Hrgovic. He'll give him a few more rounds, but it'll knock him out. And then go for one of the champions, man. The kid's got it. So why wait around? The kid's got it. The dynamic, His Excellency, Frank Warren Spencer, everyone has got the sport now. He'll get paid top dollar for it. And he's more than talented enough to win.
Is this guy potentially one of the most talented athletes in not only boxing but sport that this country's kind of seen?
Yeah, 100%. He's got it, bro. You know when you know a fighter's got it, he's physically got it. He's a unit. Yeah, man, he's the next big thing.
Obviously, I'd like to ask you about your teammate, Joseph Parker. There is some potential that fight could happen next.
You know what? I don't think that fight needs. Well, the mandatory positions they're in, it kind of makes sense. But career-wise, in both their perspectives, I don't think it makes sense. Joseph Parker is in line to fight Usyk, and Moses. I don't think he needs someone like Joseph just yet. I think it's a step too far. I think that is a step too far. So it depends what Frank Warren and his team say. But I personally wouldn't fight. If I was Moses, I wouldn't fight Joseph next. No way.
You say 2 fights. Do those 2 fights include Alexander Usyk? Is that a step too far?
When I say a world champion in 2 fights, small print, Usyk vacates all the belts. If it vacates, then yeah, guaranteed.
Well, Hamza, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
Right, that was Hamza Shiraz with a huge claim that Moses Itauma could be a world champion within 2 fights. Wow, just wow. A first round finish. For me, I thought the people writing off Dillian Whyte were a bit too presumptuous. I think it was a bit too, I didn't quite buy that it was going to be 1-2 rounds. But Moses, from the very off, the confidence of the man, 20 years old, is something we've just never seen. And Dillian Whyte, whatever you want to say about him, he's over the hill, whatever you want to say. He's arguably a British boxing great. He's an experienced operator, and Moses Itauma has done that with him in just a round. Right, we've got Esimon. Moses is just something special, isn't he?
Wow, I did not expect that. Obviously coming up against Dillian Whyte, I was expecting Dillian Whyte to be long in the tooth, make it awkward in there for him, make him feel that the experience, but I did not expect him to set about Dillian that fast.
And listen, I'm speaking to accomplished professional boxers here ringside, and they've seen it. You've seen it all. Hamza, you've seen it all. But even you guys are almost in awe of what Moses is doing as a 20-year-old.
Yeah, it was like, damn, I thought this was a step up for him, and you're right. But I think possible fights for him could be like your Joseph Parkers or your Usyks, because I felt like this was maybe a bit too early, but it seems like it was a tad bit too late.
We saw Filip Hrgovic today defeat David Adeleye. Both men have said they would be open to the fight at some stage later in the year. Based on the performance you saw from Filip, how do you think that fight would go?
Thank you so much.
Itauma's way. Yeah.
Simple as that?
Yeah, simple as that. You know what? Don't go against him. He's got his momentum, so let's see what he can do.
Hamza Shiraz reckons he can be a world champion within 2 fights.
Yeah, I think he really could. There's nothing stopping him. Nothing in the foreseeable future. You have to get one of those creatures from the Black Lagoon, unknown boxers, to come out of nowhere to give him a bit of to give him some stick. But aside from that, it looks that way.
Echo Esimon, thank you very much for speaking to us. Cheers, mate. Right, that was Echo Esimon. I have seen Frank come down ringside. Would be great to see Frank's thoughts on his star man. Sorry, my friend. Oh, that's big man, bad man Sam. Bad man Sam, what do you think? Right, Frank Warren, Moses Itauma, 59 seconds, I think.
Yeah,
not bad.
Well, I never expected that. I thought when we made the match it'd be a good match for him. I never, for 1 minute, expected that to happen, and I thought it was phenomenal. I watched it back just now on the monitor with the DAZN team, and you look at his punches. He places punches. I mean, he throws so many good punches, so many good shots, and he's done it in absolute style.
We've spoken to a few guys down there on the ground, experienced pros, accomplished pros, the likes of Hamza Shiraz. They're almost in awe of him. Is this guy the most special talent that Britain has potentially ever produced?
Well, at this stage of his career, he is, that's for sure. Because what he's doing, it's not just what he's doing, it's how he's doing it. I mean, he's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing boxer, and you look at the level he's at, 20 years of age. I keep saying it, like I use AJ for example. He didn't turn pro till he was 24. Most of these guys you spoke to didn't turn pro at a young age. Look at what we're pitching him in with. And it's not like with Dillian Whyte, you don't know his pedigree and who he's fought and so forth. Nobody's done that to him. Nobody.
Spoke to Hamza Shiraz down there, like I say, and he said he's 2 fights away from a world title.
He's not far off, that's for sure.
You know, he's WBO number 2. Joseph Parker is WBO number 1. There is some potential that could be ordered. Do you think Joseph Parker would be too early?
At the moment, I'm not making any decisions on fights. There's so many permutations, so many opportunities. We have a wealth of talent in the heavyweight division under the Queensberry banner, and we'll make the right move, make the right fights like we always do.
A word on Dillian Whyte, obviously, an almost, you could say a legendary boxing career.
Look, he's had a great career. He's lost 3 fights out of the fights that he's had. World Championship fights, competitive fights. He's got great wins on his record. He's been there. We all know what he is. We've all seen him over the years in the fights. He's tough. He's rough, and he was just totally outclassed very early on in the fight. I never expected that in a million years.
And listen, Frank, you've produced some of the best fighters in the world time and time again. Could Moses Itauma end up being the best?
I'm going to say something now. I think for a kid who's had the amount of fights, 20 years of age, for the amount of fights he's had and at the level he's been fighting at, he's probably the best I've been involved with at this stage of his career.
What's his ceiling?
Sorry?
What's his ceiling?
What's his ceiling? He just fought a 37-year-old man. The world champion's 38. He could have 18 years at the top. I mean, you got, as you said, a couple of fighters saying a couple of fights he could fight for a world title. Would you bet against him winning a world title? I wouldn't.
Filip Hrgović, I know you're saying you're not going to, make plans for any fights yet, but both men have said that they would be open to a fight later in the year. Based on what you saw from Filip tonight, how would that fight go?
Well, that fight was a tough fight for both. The pace, he threw a lot of punches. I thought he threw about, was it roughly 500 punches? I see the punch stats. David was not throwing punches. At times in that fight, he wasn't using his jab, and he just didn't seize on the moment, especially when he got cut. He didn't see. The 8th round was sensational. It was an exciting moment in the fight. Him and Moses, if that could be made, I'm sure it could be made. I'd certainly go with that. But at this moment, right now, we're not making any decisions about any opponents.
Just another word on David. Obviously, it didn't go his way tonight, but that 7th or 8th round, I'm not sure which one it was, he showed something that you can't teach.
Well, he did. He come up and he was wounded. And he come back firing. It would have been a 10-8 round if it weren't for the fact that he came back, Harry Wood. It was a 10-9 round. The problem is he let the round slip by and he wasn't doing enough. And that's the truth of the matter. And you can't take nothing away from Philip. Philip was constantly throwing shots, constantly coming forward, throwing punches.
And Nick Ball.
And I expected David. David just did not stamp his authority on the fight. Maybe he couldn't have. I don't know. You know, I'm not taking anything away from Filip Hrgović because he'd done well and done what he had to do. But David, I would like to see more from him.
And Nick Ball, I know he's one of your favourites. One of the UK's only current male world champion. How special is that he's flying the flag for the country?
He done well, didn't he? I mean, he was in with an opponent who come to fight. I mean, you know, I've got to take my hat off to the Aussie. I mean, he really gave everything he had, and there were he had his moments in the fight. I thought Nick, at the end of the day, pulled away and thoroughly deserved the win. But you know, Nick's fought again. He's you look at the level he's fighting at, the opponents he's fighting. They're either undefeated or they're, you know, number one or they're world champions. You can't do no more than that. I love him. I love watching him. He's all action. He's exciting, and he delivered again tonight.
I know you want to make that a Inoue fight at some point. I know you've been begging for it.
Do you know what? But I'm going to stop with all this because when we're talking about he's got a fight and we keep talking about these things and it's in his head, focus on what's happening tonight. Sometimes it can take your eye off the ball, and I'm guilty as anybody of that. And even at my age, is a lesson learned tonight.
Well, Frank, a good night, a great event, and thank you very much for speaking to us. Right, so we've spoken to the fighters ringside. They are in absolute awe at what they've seen tonight. I believe it was a 59-second stoppage from Moses Itauma. He is just something special and potentially one of the greatest products to come out of British boxing. We can't wait for the future.